Hi, I'm Phil Constantine, and this is Travels with Phil, and we're going to the Airborne and Special Operations Museum in Fayetteville, North Carolina, right around the corner from Fort Bragg.
Yeah, a field of flags at the Special Operations Museum. This is the Airborne and Special Operations Museum. This is not part of Fort Bragg. It's in downtown Fayetteville. Pretty impressive building and grounds. You have lots of, as you can see in the distance, zoom in a little bit, individual markers for all of the different divisions that at one point or another did special operations or airborne. And so, gonna go inside.
This is a little bit better look at some of those blocks talking about the various units and operations involved in parachuting. Currahee Rocks, this is where a lot of the original paratroopers got their training in Georgia. This is actual rocks in there. If you ever saw the TV show Band of Brothers, you saw a lot about that. Inside, the first place you get to just about is the Battle of Mogadishu. You might know it better as Black Hawk Down from the movie and the book. This is some of the paraphernalia that was involved there. This is actual remains of a Super 61. It was recovered 20 years later from Mogadishu. This is one of the helicopters that did go down. Around here you see a silver star and a flag box for some of the people that were involved in the operation here. Quite a few folks were killed. A lot of people were involved in the effort to retrieve or rescue the people that went down. This is actually a copy of a letter from Sergeant First Class Matt Ryerson. He wrote it to his wife and before he died, and it was delivered after he died. Now, one of the major operations here in this museum is about parachuting. Let's go back to Fort Bragg, and I'll show you one of the aircraft that was primarily used for this.
Travels with Phil continues at Fort Bragg. Now, this is the 82nd Airborne Museum area. Now, this is a C-47 Skytrain. You might recognize it as eventually becoming the DC-3. But of all those old World War II movies that you may have seen, this is the plane that all the paratroopers came jumping out of the back. This was the primary vehicle, and it did a lot of work. It went over the hump in Burma delivering goods. So this airplane, this aircraft and variations of it did a lot of work in World War II.
And I mentioned that because I'm going to be showing you some of the artifacts of it a little bit later. These are some of the pictures you'll see inside of the various operations that the 501 and various other 82nd Airborne went through. D-Day operations, other operations. San Miguel was one of the places where people parachuted in. And the Screaming Eagles came in through there, some of the uniforms. So they have lots of artifacts out here.
The inside of the museum is a very large place. Again, this is Airborne and Special Operations in downtown Fayetteville. And it just wanders through in several sections. You saw the Mogadishu area earlier. This is the inside of what it would be like to be in an airborne plane, like that C-47 Skytrain that showed you earlier from Fort Bragg itself. Just lots and lots, and there you go. There's the plane right up above us. That's the one I was talking about earlier. See all the displays out here. Some of the material used in North Africa, but that's German, by the way. More German material over here. Start to see some American things here. So just lots and lots to look at here in this museum.
Another World War II major operation was Market Garden, which was planned by the British, but the Americans were involved.
All right, this is for Operation Market Garden. See some of the material here. You may have seen the movie A Bridge Too Far, maybe not, but that's what this one is about. The same operation. It says new kinds of jump boots here. Guidebook about Netherlands. Allied Airborne. This is one of the German parachute troops. And this map was actually used in the battle. It says Lewis Harris carried this map of Holland during Operation Market Garden.
And continuing on the Ardennes and then moving over to Bastogne.
One of my favorite episodes in World War II is during the Battle of the Bulge. when the Germans had surrounded the city and had been bombarding it for a while, and they decided to offer the Americans the opportunity to surrender. And General Anthony McAuliffe responded to the Germans' proposal for surrender with just the one-word phrase, nuts. Germans had a hard time understanding that, but basically they eventually learned that he didn't want to surrender. So this is a recreation of that incident.
And I do like that response, just nuts. This is Patton giving McAuliffe a Distinguished Service Cross. They also have material here from the Pacific, a lot of operations over there as well. A Japanese pilot chute, a battle flag. A lot of Japanese carry these battle flags in with them. So all kinds of memorabilia, artifacts, both from the Allied forces and the Axis powers in World War II. But also they have sections here on Vietnam in more recent days. Again, lots of operations here from World War II. We're now in the Vietnam area sections where they give you all kinds of dioramas. Again, all kinds of artifacts, things that were used. These are the prisoner of war cages. The Ranger Advisor uniforms here, that's the Red Berets, as they were called. Sometimes they may not have been called that as well. And then just more modern operations. So this is a very, very large operation. The Airborne and Special Operations Museum is owned and operated by the United States Army, and it's part of their Army museum system. It took them about 20 years to bring it from dream to reality. Thank you very much for watching. You can leave family-friendly language comments down below, and if you'd like to subscribe, you can click the button over here on the right-hand side. Again, thank you very much for watching this video.